hosts at the same time. So it is multiple ESXi hosts at the same time. What else? What else about vCenter? Second thing is all high availability advanced features are only available through vCenter. All advanced features. Through vCenter. And what are advanced features? It's so yes, it is vMotion, it is SD motion, it is DRS, it is SDRS, and FT and HA and BUM. And later on we're going to go through each one of them. And the last one is it's a paid product. It's not free product, it's a paid product. So this is our current architecture. Server 1, host number 1, host number 2, host number 3, and they are all connected to the same network. And then the first one we called it VC1, second one we called it ESX1, and it is called ESX2. We have IP addresses, and then we created some VMs as well. So we created some VMs inside. We created some VMs inside, and here we do have a vSphere client. vSphere client, and through vSphere client we are managing each one separately. This is how much we know. So we are managing vSphere, each ESXi host separately. Guys, vCenter is that product that can manage all ESXi hosts at the same time. That's one big difference. So vCenter is that product that is not. Now vCenter comes in two different flavors. So vCenter, VC comes in two different flavors, and that is number one. It comes as appliance, and second one Windows based. Guys, in both cases, the main function of vCenter is this. The main function of vCenter is this: that you have a server, and that server it has to be so. It is a vCenter. Let's say it is a vCenter, and now within vCenter it can manage, or let me make it like this. So within a vCenter, basically, you can manage now ESXi hosts. So this is ESXi host 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. And this is your VC application. So VC application actually managing ESXi 1, ESXi 2, ESXi 3, ESXi 4. Before they were individually managed, now through vCenter, actually we bring them inside vCenter, and now we can manage everything on these ESXi hosts from vCenter. Now everything meaning everything. So everything means is this here. You have VMs inside each ESXi host. So these VMs, their resources, their CPU is managed by VC. So Appliance works exactly like Windows based, but Appliance has some features that are not there. Although nowadays in version 6, Appliance, this vCenter is equal to this vCenter. Yes, physical. So these are physical servers. Yes, they are physical servers. Now this is, I'm showing them logically to you. Logically, they are being managed by vCenter, although they are all physical servers. So this outside server is 2008 server. It is a 2000. So you must have a 2008 server. Then you install VC inside, and then in VC we are going to bring it. Now basically these ESXi, they are physical hosts sitting outside. So they are basically sitting here. ESXi, ESXi, ESXi. Now, in order to manage them from one location, all we need to do is we basically logically attach all three ESXi hosts with vCenter. So I just showed you this diagram because from one vCenter we can manage everything in these 4 ESXi hosts.
These can be virtual as well.
Which one? ESXi hosts? They can be virtual, but they must be physical. They must be physical. So the main purpose of ESXi host must be physical. Why? Because you are creating a ESXi host to create VMs inside. There is no, there is no application where you can create a ESXi host virtually and create VMs. So it won't be that powerful. Okay, so ESXi host must be physical. Okay, so vCenter is used to, so this diagram is just to show you that multiple ESXi hosts manage multiple ESXi hosts at the same time, number one. And vCenter comes in 2 versions, Appliance and Windows. Now, Appliance, we already know it is a Linux-based appliance. It is a Linux-based appliance, whereas this one needs Windows. So this is Windows-based. This is Windows-based. Now, this Windows can be either 2008 R2 or it can be 2012 R2 as well. It can be any version. And this one is Linux. It is Linux-based appliance. Now, since this one is an appliance, it as an appliance, it comes as pre-installed and pre-configured. So it is pre-installed and pre-configured. So this appliance, it comes as one package. Now you can think of this as a Citrix package. Once you have an application and then you package it, then you send it somewhere, right, in Citrix. So we have seen packages, for now, packaging in 2 different applications. So package we have seen in Citrix, whereas and SCCM. In both, we saw packages. And how do you make a package? It's really easy. So first of all, you have to have a real app. So in both cases, you have a real app. And then in Citrix, what you do is you convert this into a package. You convert this into a package. And here it is also converted to a package. So the only difference is here it is not installable. This is installable. So if you know Citrix and SCCM, this is just a quick review of here. This is SCCM is installable. Always remember, this is installable and this is not non-installable. This is already installed actually. So non-installable or installed. Guys, appliance is actually like this. It is already configured. It is like a Citrix application. Appliance is like a Citrix application, which is already made a package. So there is a package in which there is already a vCenter. All you need to do exactly same like you would download it from VMware website. And then once it is downloaded, so all you need to do is this. Download appliance, VC appliance from VMware website. Once it is downloaded, it will be downloaded in one of 2 formats. So it will be downloaded so it comes in 2 formats. Either it will be OVF format or it might be OVA format. It might be OVF or OVA format. OVF stands for Open Virtualization Format and OVA stands for Open Virtualization Archive. So here, I'm going to write here. So this is Open Virtualization Format, whereas this is Open Archive. Nowadays, most of the time, appliances comes in this version, OVA, Open Virtualization Archive. So Open Virtualization Archive, basically in this format, this complete package comes in one file. If it is OVA, it comes as one file. If it is OVF, it comes in 3 files. 2 or 3 files. So if it is OBF, the same software, so I'm going to say this is a package, VC, it comes in 2 different files. It comes as file 1 will be .obf format, and file 2 will be VMDK file. Yes, it is the storage file for the same. And appliance can be anything, guys. There are thousands of appliances there out on the internet. This is one of the appliance, vCenter. It is just one of the appliances. There are many other appliances available. So if any appliance comes as OBF, you need 2 files. If any appliance comes as OVA, it comes as just 1 file as a combination of everything. So it comes as, so if it is like this, then it will be VC and it will be only 1 file, and that file will be OVA. So just the difference is they made it easier for us by providing us 1 file. Now OVF is older way of making the appliance. This is a newer way of making an appliance. In this, you have to have 2 or 3 files. In most cases, it is 3 files. You need 3 different files. But in this OVA, it is only 1 file. Let's look at our appliance. So if we go into that folder where we copied all these appliances, here, this is the folder that I gave you. If we go into, actually outside, I think. Yes, here. So here you see this one. Here you see this one. This is an appliance. This is an example of appliance, but this is a different appliance. This is called VDP, vSphere Data Protection Appliance, and it comes at OVA format. Let's go into vCenter appliance, and vCenter appliance is basically inside here. So here you can see that this is a vCenter. You just need 1 file. You don't need even these 2 files. These 2 files were required for OVF. So even if you have just 1 file, then you're okay. You can install that appliance. Okay. Now, if we see their size, you can see the OVF file size is 1.8 GB, because this 1 file contains everything. So even if I delete these 2 files, it is fine. They are not required. So OVA comes as 1 file for their appliance. If you have an OVA of any software, it's fine. It's done. Okay. So one more time, guys. Today we started with vCenter understanding. vCenter is we can manage multiple ESXi hosts from one console, from one location. And secondly, these appliance comes as a Linux appliance. This is a Linux appliance. It comes as pre-installed and pre-configured. And then vCenter, the appliance comes in 2 different versions. It can come as OVF, which is older technique of making a package, and this is a newer way of creating a package and appliance. OVA is a new way. In OVA, just need 1 file, and we do have that file. Okay. Open Virtualization Archive. Here. Here. File 1.obf, file 2.obf. Okay. So next thing here is, guys, appliances always are configured to become a VM. This is you always need to remember. So appliances will always become.
They cannot be installed on a physical server. It has to be virtual.
Exactly. They have to be installed as a VM on ESXi host. So appliances always deployed on ESXi host. Appliances always deployed on ESXi host to become a VM. And then can be accessed from any other server. Yes. So appliances always becomes a VM. Appliances are not installed. Now, what do we mean by this? We meant by this is that as soon as you deploy your appliance, it will become a VM in one of the ESXi hosts. It will become a VM inside a host. So first of all, now this is how it will look like. It will look like this. So you have internet here. So this is your internet. Internet. Now I want the vCenter appliance. All you need to do, you would connect from your network. Let's say you're connecting from here. You connect to internet. First of all, from internet you connect to VMware servers. So this is VMware servers. And you connect here and download the appliance. So first search and download the appliance, and then you will get that appliance as OVS. So this will be vCenter.ova format. So you downloaded it. So this is point number 2. You went to, so this is in real. For now we have it in real environment. You can download it exactly like that. You go to internet, and the best way is that you can just Google it. So just Google saying, you need vCenter appliance download. So it will directly take you to that page. So once it is done, and the third step will be, all you need to do is, in the third step, you need to go into vSphere client. You need to go into vSphere client here. So here the third step, open or connect to vSphere, connect to ESXi host through vSphere client. Through vSphere client, and this is where we already are connected. So I'm going to connect here. You see that I am connected here, and all you need to do, deploy the appliance. The word is deploy. We need to deploy the appliance. So number 4, just deploy the appliance or OVF file. OVA file. And once you deploy it, and how do you deploy it? It's right here. You go to File, and then you go here. It says Deploy OVF template. So it is using the older naming as OVF. So same appliance is OVF or OVA. It will be deployed from OVF. So you would say Deploy OVF by going where? You need to go to File, and after that you need to go to Deploy OVF template. Deploy OVF template. As soon as you have deploy OVF template, here it will ask you for the file. Now, once I go here, it will start the wizard. It will start the wizard, and it will, first of all, it will ask you, give me the file location. Now, in my case, it is not sitting in my vCenter. So first of all, I need to bring it from my host machine to my vCenter. First of all, I need to copy it from host machine to vCenter. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cancel this for now. And then all I need to do is, I'm going to just put it on the side, and I'm going to bring this right here.
This one.
So now just one file, OVA file. So I'm copying it from my host machine to my vCenter. Once you have it on your vCenter, then you would go here, deploy appliance, and file deploy OVF. It will ask you for the location. So here, select browse and select OVA file. It will ask you a few more questions right here, saying that where do you want to deploy this VM? Because OVA or OVF, they automatically become, and this is an important thing to understand for everyone, that once you have OVA, it will become a VM in one of the ESXi hosts. So we are going to make it a VM on ESXi1 here. So at the end, we want it to be a VM, VC here, sitting here.
That's the process for installing the appliance.
Exactly. That is the process to deploying the appliance. I won't say installing the appliance, but you're right. It is like installing the appliance. Yes.
If you go through VM, you can go to File and open it, and you see
right here at the top.
Yeah.
Yes, it can be done from here as well. So you can go here, you can go open, and then you can do it like this as well. So it works both ways. So I'm going to come back to that secondly. But for now, I want to show you how it is employed in real environment. In real environment, you don't have VMware workstation. So what we do is we deploy it through vSphere client. So you need to remember appliances are always deployed on ESXi host. So here on ESXi host to become a VM through vSphere client. Now here, since it is copied, all I need to do is this. It's very simple. Then I need to open my vSphere client. And here, I'm going to go here, say deploy OVF. And right here, huh? Okay, one more time. All I need to do is, if you are connected to vSphere client,
any client or first client.
So let's say you are connected to your machine, and just open vSphere client, and then connect to any ESXi host. So connect to any ESXi host root. Once it is connected, then we'll deploy it. So here, ignore, and then it connects, then you deploy it. What are we trying to do, guys? It becomes a vCenter sitting inside ESXi host. And from here, it will manage all ESXi hosts. From sitting inside ESXi host, it manages the complete environment. So all I need to do, guys, keep an eye on this. Here I have only one VM, but once I deploy an appliance, it should see another VM here as well, which will be your vCenter. So here, all I need to do is I can go to File and deploy OVF template. And from here, it will ask me that where do I need to deploy. All I need to do is browse. And then here, select the appliance, because I just copied it from there. It is an OVA format, and then open. Once it is selected, and this is where I mentioned this. So deploy appliance on OVA. And then next, it will ask you, it will show you, okay, the version of appliance you're about to install is 5.5, and the total size is 1.8. Total size is 1.8. And then you go to, and here it says size on disk is 3.5. So in a few seconds, it checked itself and then gave me next. So if there is no next, immediately just wait for a few moments. So next, and now it is asking me that what is the name of the VM that you want to have for this appliance. Here we'll leave the name as VMware vCenter Server Appliance. And then next, and here it's asking me which disk do you want to store that appliance in. So for now we have a local disk of ESX. Guys, it is about to install that appliance on ESXi1. So on ESXi1, it will be installing it on the disk of this ESXi1. And all you need to do, I select the data store one and next. And here always go with thin provisioning. Don't go with thick provisioning at the moment. And then next, and here finish. Now, depending on how fast or slow your machine is, this process will take time. Now what it is doing, it is basically expanding the OVA file. Then it expands and then deploys it.
OVA file?
OVA. You do have OVA file, right? Okay. This one, first one. So okay. So in your case, you cannot see the extension. So in order to see the file extension, all you need to do is go here and go here and view, and here just say. So now you should be able to see the extension. This is OVA file. And actually it's written right here in type as well. This is an OVF file. This is here it says OVF, but it is OVA. All you need to do, copy it in your machine and then.
So is this
Yeah, that's the one. That's the file. You need to copy it to your machine. Yes, that's fine. So you're copying it. Just the first part. Just the first part. Just this one. Copy to there. लेकिन सारी basics okay, so it is expanding it. Yes, yes, that's it. Just select this. Oh
वो
yes,
नहीं वो तो मेरे को शेयर करके ना
yes, that's fine.
वो कॉपी नहीं हो रही थी
Share it as well.
सर वो कॉपी नहीं हो रही थी
Okay, that's fine then. Next. Yes, option. Go to share. Enable add. It's saying retry the decided. नहीं वो पीछे से उसका कनेक्शन लॉस्ट हो गया वो कनेक्शन इसका चलेगा किसी वजह से किधर अभी ये तो कैंसिल दोबारा से लेकिन वो किसी वजह से ना डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया शायद उसकी डिस्क पूरी हो गई है या मेमोरी नहीं थी कम हो गई हाँ बड़ा इसको स्टार्ट करते हैं तरफ मशीन यस जस्ट स्टार्ट होस्ट की बना हाँ होस्ट की मेमोरी थोड़ी बना हाँ ये सारा कुछ करना है मैं भी करता हूँ Okay, guys, once it is done, off कर दे, power off करके करें. As I understand, first you have to go to the internet and Google vSphere Appliance, OVA file, vCenter OVA file, and then you download it onto vSphere client. Yes. And from vSphere client. Or if you download it to your host machine, then copy it here. Okay, copy it here, and then you connect to VCSA out to vSphere client, and then deploy the appliance. It will ask you browse and select the OVA file, and right after that, number 5. Once deployed, all you need to do. Now, guys, just a quick view here. Once it is deployed, it will come as a VM. So once it is here as a VM, all you need to do is right click on this and power on. Just power on. So once you power it on, here see the progress, it is starting up, and then open this window. So once it powers on, then I'll open this window here. Now right here, now my appliance is starting. So just when the appliance is started, it won't detect any network. It won't, so we need to set up those IP addresses. As soon as appliance, so here once deployed, select the VM and start the VM. Number 6 was, so it is, since it is Linux, it will start like this. Everyone, one thing, it starts like this. So it is basically, it is starting up.
So one thing, like if you select the file to VM workstation.
Yes.
You create a separate machine.
Then it becomes a VM inside VMware workstation. Yes. Now the only reason why I did it, because inside ESXi host it will be slow, and outside as a VM it will be faster. So once this is done, yes.
Installed it as a separate virtual machine inside VMware. It picked up all the network like IP address 192.168, a different range.
It was a VMware workstation range.
Yes, here it's 0.0.
because it couldn't find any DHCP inside. So now we need to set up that IP address. And if you see that red line,
Yes.
so on that red line, there is a command that we need to run inside.
OPT.
Yes, so first of all, write that command on a notebook. And tell me, what is the command? I'm going to write it here.
Backslash OPT.
Backslash,
OPT.
just one backslash.
Yes.
It starts from backslash.
Yes. No,
Okay.
sir, no backslash.
Forward slash.
Yes, sir.
And then OPT
Yes.
and
Forward slash.
and
VMware.
VMware
Forward slash. Share.
share
And forward slash. VAMI.
VAMI
And then forward slash. VAMI.
VAMI
And then underscore.
and
Config.
config
Underscore and net.
NET. That's it. Okay, and it's right here, guys. Once it starts, your screen will look like this. Now the most important thing here is you need to set up the IP address. You need to set up the IP address. Now, how do you set up the IP address? So start the machine. कितनी रैम दी थी आपने इधर? 3/6 So hold on. Here ये कह रहा है कि it is started, completed. आपने इसको start कर दिया है और इसको सिर्फ यहाँ पे लिखा है। वो तो नहीं, वो थोड़ी देर में इसको यूज कर रहा है क्योंकि ना वो इसके अंदर
during the installation fail हो गया है। One by one करके हम करेंगे।
vCenter
Yeah.
कौन सा? दूसरा वाला विंडोज वाला। हाँ, वो one by one। स्नैपशॉट लिया मैं आपने। फिर क्वाइट पॉसिबल आपको दोबारा बनाना पड़ेगा।
काफी मेरे साथ जो है उसके बाद स्नैपशॉट लिया।
स्नैपशॉट हमेशा लेंगे, पहले स्नैपशॉट लेंगे ताकि ना वो किसी वक्त वो हो जाता है ऐसे खराब कर देता है पूरा सिस्टम।
Most of the time।
तो लेकिन अब उसका एक ये भी है कि हर एक को अलग-अलग इंस्टॉल करें।
नहीं होता तो वो
मुश्किल होता है, मुश्किल
अच्छे से
हमेशा जो है ना उसको अलग-अलग लेके चलो। Now, once you're on this screen, guys, once you're on this screen, all you need to do is it completely says here, everyone, it says here no networking detected and please log in. So now we need to log into a command prompt. So this is the first time you'll be logging into a Linux command prompt. Guys, in Windows, it is called a command prompt. Everyone, in Windows, we call it a command prompt where we write commands.
Linux is terminal।
Huh?
Linux is terminal।
It is terminal, yes. In Windows, it is called command prompt, and in Windows, in Linux and Unix, it is called terminal. So first of all, we need to log in. But when you log in, always keep an eye on this, that here it shows you please log in at the command, and we need to write that complete sentence as is. It is case sensitive. As you can see, everything is lowercase. Nothing is uppercase here. So it is case sensitive. Now at this point, this exactly looks like this. So here, basically in this ESXi host, it already had one VM in my case. So it already had one VM here. Now, when we deploy a VCSA, what it did, it created another VM. Now, within this VM, there is no networking here. It says no networking. No networking because there is no IP address. So now we need to set up that IP address. So for that, it is saying that in order to configure the IP address, you need to run this command. And the command is this, opt VMware, and it is written right here. So in real environment, if you don't, because we cannot remember the command, it automatically comes here. The red screen, yes, sometime it doesn't appear, sometime it appears. So in some cases, it won't appear. So this red screen won't appear. Now, all you need to do is, so you would go to login. So as you can see, first of all, click inside. And here you see that I can change to login. All you need to do is log in, enter. And as soon as you log in, this is the first time you're about to log in to a Unix or Linux machine by using the root account. So this will be a root account. So here the login will be root. and the password will be password. Oh, there is a password. VMware password. It is simple VMware.
Not password one.
No, no, no. Because we never set up the password, but there is a default root password for this, and it is VMware. And as soon as it takes you to a hash prompt, guys, in Unix and Linux, this is known as hash prompt. In Windows, this is known as command prompt. In this is called hash. This is called hash prompt. So once you log in, what is the password? Just VMware. So you need to enter VMware. So here, start the VM, and then log in to click login, and click login. And when you log in, enter root, and password is just VMware. This is your password. Once you log in, then write this command. Then type the command. So on hash, so here number 7 on hash prompt, type the command. Now here you need to type a command. Type the following command. Type the following command. And the command is /opt /VMware /share /RAMI /config /net. So here now I'm going to write a command, type a command, and the command will be opt. So it starts with / and then opt, and then VMware, and then share क्लिक करें इनसाइड हो गया आईपी एड्रेस वगैरह सब कॉन्फ़िगर हो गया ओके वेरी गुड एक्सीलेंट माशाल्लाह So once you do this, actually it starts this program. It gives you these options where it can let you set up IP address. So हो रहा है ना क्या नहीं वो नहीं दिखाएगा आपको जो लिख रहा होता है सीक्रेट है ताकि आपको नजर ना आए उसने लिख दिया लेकिन वो चूंकि आपने कुछ पहले टाइप किया होगा तो एक और दफा करें यार एक काम करें इसको एक मेरे से यहाँ से ठीक है वापस आ गया ना बस ठीक है चलिए आपका बिना पहुंचा कोई बात नहीं ये मतलब के मतलब नहीं है कि मैं बात कर रहा हूँ मैं कह रहा हूँ कि okay. Excellent. Now let's set up the IP address. Now here we need to set up IP address for over IP address. 130. 130? What was in the tag? It was 130. Okay. So 130. Yes, 130 is fine. So let's set up IP address here. In this. So let's set up IP address. So here, just go with the option. First of all, 6. Just press 6, and then it will ask you for the IP address. Guys, go logically. I mean, everything is there. Just press 6 and try all these options. Try all these options. You should be able to do it. One thirty.
So we
कैंसिल होगा ना लॉग नहीं करना जैसे ही वापस आना होस्ट पे जाना फिर कंफर्मेशन में जाना बल्कि होस्ट की समरी पे जाए वहां से डिस्क को ब्राउज करें जो एक्स्ट्रा फोल्डर बनाया ना वो डिलीट करें नहीं वो यहाँ से पूरा
130 देना
जी जी
भाई सेव तो नहीं होगा
नहीं तो आप हमेशा शो कर सकते हैं 0 करके अभी क्या कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है तो अभी कुछ भी नहीं मानते हाँ इनको देखने एक तो वापस आएगा जल्दी वापस आए इतनी देर भी जो लगा रहे हैं ना मुझे लगता है उससे लॉस कर दिया इसको मैंने वो देखते हैं क्यों बंद हो रहे हैं अगर दूसरे चल रहे हैं तो दूसरे में बनाओ लेकिन उन पे ज्यादा रैम इसकी तो कम कर नहीं इसी पे बनाया मुझे लग रहा है जैसे उसकी वजह से हो रहा है इसकी डिस्क जो है ना खत्म हो गई और आपकी वैसे डिस्क का क्या हाल है तो जो है ना उसकी डिस्क इसलिए खत्म हो गई क्योंकि वो आपने ना 4 VM बना के पड़े और आपने ना यार आपने मुझे लगता है उसकी प्रोविजन सेलेक्ट की हुई किसी पे क्लिक नहीं करनी अब ये देखिए कोशिश करेंगे वापस आ गया तो सारे VMs डिलीट करना है इसका
सर इसमें होस्ट नेम में इसका ये
हाँ ये उसका नाम नहीं इसका नाम रखेंगे होस्ट नेम गाइस when the host name comes just name it host name जो है ना इसका this machine name is Kenneth ESX01 no Kenneth VCSA 1 so name is VCSA 1
We are making it the host. It is asking for the host name.
Yes, host name of this VM. Host name of this VM inside. Yes. It is asking you here in this screen. It is asking you the host name of the VM.
So to name this. Actually.
Yes, exactly. To name this. It's not asking for ESXi host. So here, all I need to do is press 6. And first, when you press 6, it's saying, do you want to set up IPv6? I'm gonna say no. I'm not gonna set up IPv6. And then now it is asking, do you want to set up IPv4? Now I would say yes. So here, and then it will say, do you want to use DHCP? I would say no. So here, and now it says here just IP address. So here now I'm gonna say 192.168.100.1. Is it
130?
It is 101.
Yes, sir.
Our network is 101. Okay. So this is 101.
Delete from this.
Delete from disk करना है. Sorry, delete from disk करना है. और नीचे recent task में look at recent task that if it is proper. Here 130. Enter. Your subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. And then it says, is this correct? We're going to say this is correct. Yes. And once this is done, it is reconfiguring the IP address. So it is all configured now. So it is all configured now. And then here, all I need to see, just to see it one more time. So I would say here, show me current IP. So this is just to see that if it is saved or not. So here I would say 0. And when I say 0, it would show me, okay, the IP address that is set up is 130. So here it's showing me the current IP address is 130. Once this is all done, it's all done. I don't need to do anything else. Maybe if you want, you can set up a host name and DNS as well. So let's set up the host name. So I'm gonna go to 3, option number 3, the host name. And here I'm gonna say, in here, all I'm gonna say is, it is Canaps VCSA 1 or 01 in my case. Canaps VCSA 01. And I'm gonna use DNS as well. So number 4. And DNS IP address is 10 and done. So 0, press 0 one more time and it will show you that what it is. So my current configuration is this and all done. Now I don't have to do anything else. So here, all I need to do is exit from this screen, which is number 1. I'm gonna say number 1 and exit. Once I exit, I'm gonna quit. I think it is quit. Huh? It is quit or shut down something. But we're gonna go just reset. Now once it comes back, it should give us the right IP address and everything.
So here, as I entered the DNS server, and then it is giving
It's
me
fine, just
another
enter.
Just enter.
Just simple enter. Done. And then just restart.
Number 1 to exit, or sir, how can we go to restart?
Just from here. Just restart from here. This is fine. Just stop and restart. ये कहीं से ये कोई ले रहा होगा यार आपने ना यहाँ पे इसको कह दिया कि DHCP से ले लो नहीं आपने लोग नहीं बस उसने पहले से कहीं लिया हुआ आप कोई बात नहीं उसको सेट कर दिया वो कह रहा है मेरे पास ये अब कुछ और करना चाहते हैं तो आप नया कर रहे हैं इसको नहीं कर सकते हाँ इसको रजिस्टर करने नहीं खत्म हो जाएगा जैसे आप नया देंगे ना ये नहीं होगा ये सिर्फ आपको ये कह रहा है कि डिफॉल्ट इस वक्त ये है अगर यही रखना है तो सिर्फ एंटर प्रेस करो अगर ये नहीं रखना तो नया डालो होस्ट नेम आपने नहीं दिया अच्छा दिया है बिल्कुल ठीक है बस अब आप इसको यही करें इसको यहाँ से बाहर निकाल के ना इसको एक बार रीसेट कर दें ताकि ना वो स्टार्ट हो जाए नाउ we need to bring it to this level. Look at this in on screen. Once it comes back here, it should show you the real IP address now. And go into your VC now. Go into this VC, open Internet Explorer and use this link. Go into Internet Explorer on VS and use this link.
So what is the difference?
We'll go through this. No, we'll go through this one more time. It is, I mean, it has many steps, but it's not that difficult. It has many steps, but it's not that difficult.
What is the difference doing this way or you use the browser?
Which one?
This way or
No. Okay, so this way here we can only set up IP address, nothing else.
But in the video we set up the IP through browsers. Like you see the IP here, then whatever the browser.
Oh, you can do that as well. But first time to access it, you need to have a proper IP address. Yes, some default, leave default.
Single sign-on visa?
Yes.
So you can check your certain IP.
यार वो फिर बंद पड़े यार जब तक ये बंद होता रहेगा दोबारा this आपने remove from this किया था 100%. इसको स्टार्ट होने दें. अब जब आप कनेक्ट करें तब मुझे बताएं.
Internet is not available.
No, that's fine. इंटरनेट की उसमें जरूरत ही नहीं है. सिर्फ ये कि अब ये ना उस पे कनेक्ट करना है तो अब आप हमेशा ये ऑप्शन करेंगे. जब भी हमेशा ये आता है ना तो हमेशा ये ऑप्शन आता है. ठीक है. तो अब ये आपके VCSA से पहली दफा कनेक्ट होगा. तो ऐड कर लो. ये बाहर से कनेक्ट होने लगा. इसको इस पे सिक्योरिटी लगा देते हैं जिसकी वजह से ना ये फिर चलता नहीं. हाँ ये ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे आप लूप डालें भी नहीं होगा.
Sub the losses.
ये डिफॉल्ट सेटिंग के साथ भाई क्या कंसीडर करेंगे? इसको डिफॉल्ट सेटिंग के साथ जाना है या कि ये खुल गया?
इधर आपको बताएंगे.
SVCS.
Okay, So guys, let's understand one more time what we are doing here. vCenter is a project to manage all ESXi hosts at the same time. Let's understand. Let's say I have 4 ESXi hosts. Let's understand. 4 ESXi hosts. If I don't have vCenter, I have vSphere client and I can manage each one of them individually. So I can connect to this ESXi host, I can create VMs, I can create delete VMs and everything. But if I need to manage all 4 of them, then I need to bring up vCenter. And vCenter is of 2 types. How many types? 2 types. There is Windows-based vCenter and appliance-based vCenter. Appliance-based vCenter is a pre-configured and pre-installed. For that reason, we downloaded it from VMware website. So now look at this. This is appliance. Everyone, let's understand this for a few minutes. Let's understand. So you download it from here inside a vSphere client, and then we deploy it as a VM here. This point we must understand. First of all, you need to download it, and then from here we deploy it, and it becomes a VM inside. And then secondly, this VM has to have IP address, so we give IP address to this. And after IP address, guys, this should look like, this is socket, this should look like this right here. And now rest of the configuration will be inside VM, inside vCenter. But then you might ask that why do I need to reconfigure it when I'm saying that it is pre-configured, pre-installed? Guys, it is pre-configured, pre-installed. We just need to start the services. So now what we're going to do here, so right after this, once this is done, this is number 8, set up IP address, set up IP address, set up IP address, and secondly, number 9, so set up IP address by running. So once you run this command, it will ask you, so here it asks you about IPv6, we said no. Then it asks you about IPv4, you want to configure it, we said yes. And then it asks you, do you want to set up DHCP? We said no. So these are the questions that were asked when we were here, right? And then once this is done, then it asked us to set up IP address. So we set up the IP address 192.168.101.130. And then subnet mask, once this is done, then then actually will verify. So here I'm going to say number 8, verify IP address on blue screen. On blue screen. Now, once we verified that IP address, number 9 is open IE. And before opening IE, I would strongly recommend to disable IE enhanced configuration. Before doing this, make sure, so here let's add another step, disable IE enhanced from server manager. And number 10, so this is what I'm going to do now. How to disable IE enhanced? All you need to do, open server manager on your vSphere client, and it's right here. If you just scroll down a bit, here configure IE. So you go here and just say off and click OK. Once this is done, it is IE enhanced configuration is done. Then you open IE, Internet Explorer, and here type the address as is. Type the address of your VCSA. Now, where do you get the address? You get the address right from here. So you get it right from the screen. It is HTTPS, and then, so here I would say open IE and type the address. And address is HTTPS /192.168.101.130 colon. What is colon? And colon after that it is 5480. Guys, always remember from now on. From now on, whenever you have this IP address and after that you have a colon, and then this, basically you are trying to connect to this server from this port. You are trying to connect to this server from this port. Do we remember what port is on servers? What?
It's actually a window or a door to
It's a door. We have many doors, thousands of doors on a server. And this special door is just for managing VCSA. So always remember this and you should enter. So once we enter this, so I'm going to go here and in this, just type here HTTPS. And remember HTTPS, it has to be typed exactly in the same manner. So HTTPS then colon 2 front slashes 192.168.101 dot 130 colon 5480 and then enter. And once you tried, now from here it is trying to connect to this VCSA appliance. So as soon as it connects to VCSA appliance, now, if it doesn't connect to this, I need to check my basics. I'll just check ping and this and that. But as soon as you get this screen, it means that it is connected. But all you need to do here, just press this middle option, which is continue to website. And as soon as you do, here it asks you for username and password. So here, number 11, select continue to website. Continue to website. Now, right after that, enter username and password. Number 12, use root and password is VMware. And once this is done, so you would say root and then tab and then say VMware. Enter. Once you say VMware, now it is trying to connect. So it is trying to connect. So it is connected. Once it connects, it will ask you to accept the agreement. So number 3, select accept license agreement and then click next. And then basically here just select all the defaults. So right here, once it is there, next. Look at your blue screen. Look at your blue screen. Look at your own server. Guys, you need to do this in your home lab as well. Okay, done? MashaAllah. So your what video are you on? MashaAllah. Which is vMotion?
vCenter के बाद ये है, कल ये है, फिर vCenter फिर vMotion. उसके बाद select करें साथ में.
Excellent. समझ आ रही है?
Part 1 समझ आ रही है?
Excellent. Very good. Just spend some more time on this, and then everybody spend more time on this. Remember the word
Passion.
passion. If you have passion, nobody can stop you. Inshallah. Okay. So it is starting up now. It's starting up now. And after that, just select default, next. Guys, in version 5.5, this has made very easy for us. In version 5.1, it was a bit difficult. In 5, it was even more difficult. And in 6, it is more easier. So they learned from their mistakes and so it stops here. And here you need to select enable data collection. No, you don't need to select this. Do not check this. Do not check this. You don't need to check this. And just say next. Here, just say next. And here, just select default settings. So here, next one. Next. And select default settings. And then next. So what it does, now here say start. So next one is guys, here keep an eye on this. It's doing three things. It is setting up the time, it is configuring a database, and then it will start the services. So it is setting up a time, it is configuring database, and it will start. Now, both type of vCenters have their own databases. They must have a database. vCenter must have a database. So here, if you look at this here, it clearly says that it is starting up the database. It is configuring the database, then it will start the database, and in this database, it's going to keep a log of everything. Start. So after starting, it is configuring time sync.
So why do we disable IE?
Yes, it is just for the reason because IE enhanced security. IE, it is for IE, Internet Explorer. Anything that open in Internet Explorer, IE enhanced poses extra security on this.
Kind of antivirus.
It's a kind of antivirus for just Internet Explorer. So here we are just disabling it so that we can run everything. There is no risk in these servers.
Anti-phasing, is that what they call it?
Huh?
Anti-phasing?
Anti-phishing. Anti-phishing or everything. Actually blocks everything. So in unusual ports, it will completely stop and block. So here, guys, it does two things here. Here, I want you to keep an eye on this. Number one, it configured the database. Now it is configuring. It says configuring database. And secondly, now configuring SSO. Guys, SSO stands for single sign-on. This stands, so basically, all types of vCenter, they have their own database. So always remember, Appliance vCenter has its own database, and Windows-based vCenter has its own database. Now my question is, have you ever worked with any database in the past?
Yes, SQL.
We have worked with SQL. In which applications? In Citrix, it has a database. In SCCM, it has a database. In Active Directory, it has a database. Active Directory's database name is NTDS. Citrix has its own database that is known as data store. Remember data store in Citrix? And in SCCM, it is called SiteDB, site database. And here, it is just called vCenter database. Now, in vCenter database, what it stores? It stores complete. So this database will store complete ESX environment configuration. So basically, just like in Active Directory, you have NTDS and it has all OUs and everything. In vCenter, it will, because vCenter is used to what? vCenter is used to manage multiple ESXi. So all ESXi host complete configuration will be stored in this database. This is why it is here, guys, it is automatically setting up the database. But you will see when we configure the Windows base, you'll have to configure a database.
So what's the difference between Appliance database and vCenter database? vCenter, I know they uses SQL Express.
Yes, they use SQL Express. This uses embedded database. It uses embedded Linux database inside. But in both cases, always remember, Saqib, everyone, in both cases. Oh, what are you doing, Saqib? Huh? Oh, man. Okay, so this is now Saqib, just do this now. It is happening with ESXi1
Yes,
or with 2 as well.
just fail the configuring database.
A failed configuring database.
Stuck here almost.
I think it is again lack of resources. It is just lack of resources. Now try this. Just switch off ESXi1 and switch on ESXi2 and then deploy the appliance on ESXi2 and do it. And decrease the memory from 8 GB to 2 GB for one and from 2 GB to 4 GB on two. It is just lack of resources in your machine. That's it. So guys here, so first of all vCenters have their own databases. So what is it? All vCenters have their own databases. And in the database, all ESXi configurations are stored inside a vCenter database. So in this database, all ESXi all ESXi configurations stored in this database. All ESXi configuration is stored in this database. If vCenter is alive and working and database goes down, vCenter is not working. So guys, this database that it is configuring here, this is for vCenter. It is of type embedded. It's an embedded database. Embedded just means it is inside the vCenter. And secondly, it is setting up SSO service. Now SSO stands for single sign-on, single sign-on. It is single sign-on, and main purpose of single sign-on service is just to have user logged in once and use everything. Single sign-on. Guys, remember single sign-on as in real life? How do you remember single sign-on?
Sign on once.
Yes, just sign on once. Or you go to Wonderland and they gave you a strap, and that strap, with that one time strap, you can go into anything, right? So single sign on in Windows, it is already configured. In Windows, we already have it, because once you log into a domain, you can use everything in the domain. Here it uses this service to do the same thing. Once you log on to one vCenter, you can access all ESXi hosts with just one login.
So that's why we're providing the proper DNS.
No, that's not the reason, but preferred DNS is used just for naming conventions. Okay.
So how is it different than orchestrator?
No, orchestrator is totally different product. It's a complete product. Orchestrator is just not one option. It's a complete product. It's a complete. If you ever need to learn orchestrator, I mean, I don't know even how orchestrator works. In normal life, we don't use orchestrator. Orchestrators are used by only specialists who are basically into automations. But it's a complete training in itself. So orchestrator is a huge product. It's just not simple, just one component. But here, the single sign-on. So now let's look at this. vCenter has three components. vCenter has itself as an appliance, and then secondly, it has a database in which it stores all ESXi configuration, and thirdly, it has SSO. And once this is all done, guys, it is all configured, and all we need to do after this will connect to vCenter and start managing ESXi hosts. So after that, once this is all done, and if it doesn't run out as error, if it doesn't timed out as error, mostly it should work. It's a bit slow, guys. Why is it slow? Why is it slow? Why do you think? But there is a reason, guys. Understand this. We are in a laptop. Inside a laptop, we have a virtual machine, and in that virtual machine, you have another virtual machine. So you are in a nested virtualization environment. This is why it's a bit slow. Guys, vCenter appliance, we are just installing just to see how it works, but our main work will be all in Windows-based vCenter. Now, once both are installed, they work exactly in the same manner. You add ESXi in the same manner, you use them in the same manner, and then you manage them in the same manner as well.
So we not have canceled this user and then done it manually, like in PMP settings and
No, not recommended. Not recommended. Let it automatically set up, because you will basically miss out few things there.
Sometimes it's in the background it's already completed.
Oh yes, that's another thing as well. Sometime when it is too long, it might already be finished. But I won't take that risk. I'll just let it go. And now, in order to see if it is finished or not, so so I won't do anything here, but I'll move on to step number 17. Step number 17. Guys, these steps that I'm writing, please, whenever you get a chance, write them in a Word file. This will basically reinforce your understanding. I would recommend that even if you're following the video, first time when you're looking at the video and following, write the steps. What IP address, this and that. Trust me, that step-by-step document will help you a lot. Because you just go through, next time you just need to go through that step-by-step document and you can directly see, oh, this is where I'm making a mistake, or this is where I'm making a mistake. So you don't have to look at the complete video.
Do I don't configure as a database and then you say all ESXi and then
All ESXi configuration are stored inside the database. Stored in database. Now step number 17 will be on vSphere on CANFs VC101 open vSphere client. Open vSphere client. On CANFs VC01 open vSphere client, and within this box type the IP address of vCenter 130 and then username as root and password as VMware. Password as this. Now here, in order to connect to the vCenter, all you need to do is this. Once this finishes, it will finish, and I'm gonna give it, let's say, till after the break. In 2-3 minutes, we'll take a break. If it is not finished till after the break, I'm gonna press F5 on this. Once you press F5, if it is finished, it will show me it is finished. Otherwise, it will error out. I'll have to reconfigure it again. Now, in this case, if in your case it is finished, all you need to do is this.
Mine is saying start in vCenter.
Excellent. So it moved to the next.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. So it means it is worth waiting instead of just rushing. All you need to do is, so go back here on here. Just go to the desktop. Here we have everything. All you need to do. So this is what I'm saying. On CANF VC1, just open vSphere client. So here I need to open a new vSphere client. As soon as you open this, here type the IP address of your vCenter 130. Your username is root and your password is VMware, and enter.
You can also do a web access as well.
You can also do a web access if you have installed a web client. So this means for me it is not configured yet.
Yeah.
So it is not configured. So for that we need to let it go and finish. And once this is done, then after that it will be somewhat like a vSphere client. All you need to do, bring in ESXi host and start managing it.
Now it is starting.
So it is starting now. It's excellent. So let it go. And if it is on a SSO, just let's take a break.
So quick question, sir. In the video, you didn't complete this wizard. You actually went manual for the single sign-on database.
Which one?
The website.
Again,
you
Mohammed?
configured this wizard.
I didn't configure the
No,
wizard.
you went straight for the database and single sign-on. You went through website just for that.
Oh, I went through the website directly. Are you sure? Okay. I'm gonna create another video this way as well. So this way as well. Guys, start writing your blog. Make your own blog in which you write your own learnings, your own issues. Do you know how to create a blog? So in order to create a blog, all you need to do is you can go to these free websites. If website is working.
It's not.
It is, it's really naraz because why we started downloading. It's so Naduk Malaj. Okay, let's take a break and right after that we'll start. ले 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 ले, हाँ इसको फिर अब बस रिमूव ही करना है। एक थोड़ी सी और चीज करेंगे फिर
अगर इस विजिट को क्लोज कर दो तो दोबारा ला सकते हैं वापस
इसको जी हाँ बिल्कुल आप इसको ला सकते हैं और इसको कैसे लाएंगे नहीं 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 नो नो आ सकता है एक जगह है इसके अंदर जिसमें आप फैक्ट्री रीसेट करते हैं ना तो ये दोबारा शुरू हो जाएगा अच्छा चल गया हाँ जी सब कुछ ठीक हो गया अच्छा सब कुछ हो गया एक्सीलेंट
अच्छा ये सिर्फ ये इसमें दिया हुआ है सेंट्रिक ज़ेन ऐप सिर्फ ज़ेन ऐप इंस्टॉल करना है ना वेब क्लाइंट तो नहीं इंस्टॉल करना
दिखाएं किधर है अच्छा जी किस अच्छा यहाँ से आप देख रहे हैं
हाँ ये जो चीज़ है ना ये ज़ेन ऐप दी हुई है
यार यार एक सेकंड ये तो नाम है ना लेकिन आपने इसको फॉलो करना है
हाँ हाँ
यहाँ से आगे जाएंगे ना तो यहाँ
क्योंकि
पे
मुझे वेब की कोई चीज़ नहीं नजर आई इसमें कि कोई चीज़ हो इसमें
देखें डाउनलोड लाइसेंस और आपने ये कर लिया फिर उसके बाद ये कर लिया इसको अगर फॉलो करेंगे ना सारी चीजें बस इसके हिसाब से करना है जो भी यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है
ठीक है
सिर्फ इसके ऊपर ना नाम पे ना जाए क्योंकि वो फिर थोड़ी सी चीजें रह जाएंगी
ठीक है
ठीक है आप अभी कर रहे हैं
हाँ मैं
जाना है आपने
चला इतना नवीद तो आया नहीं
वो नहीं आया लेकिन अब काम तो हो गया
हाँ
तो अगर आपने कोई ठीक है आपकी मर्जी है घर जाके करना है घर जाके करना है लेकिन इसको कंप्लीट करने में क्या ख्याल है
या कितने बजे तक है
हम तो है 10 बजे तक आप आराम से बैठ के करें इधर इसको कंप्लीट करें जहाँ फंसते हैं तो फिर उसको हेल्प आउट कर लें
वैसे एक चीज मतलब एडवांस में अगर आप वीडियो कर लें तो फिर आपको ज्यादा समझ आती है
यार
जैसे मैंने
बिल्कुल
वीडियो की थी तो मुझे इसका अपना
बिल्कुल 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 यार वो थोड़ा सा ना टाइम पहले लगा लें तो फिर ये इजी हो जाएगा सारा समझना कोई इतना मुश्किल चीज़ नहीं है ये बहुत आसान है एज कम्पेयर टू SCCM बहुत मुश्किल है फिर आप समझ लें सिट्रिक्स और इनमें सिट्रिक्स आसान है ये थोड़ा सा और इसमें और डेप्थ है लेकिन कोई मुश्किल नहीं है एक एक दफ़ा आप इनके प्रोजेक्ट्स करें एक एक दफ़ा या दो दफ़ा कस्टम लैब करें दैट्स इट आपके फिंगर टिप्स पे आ जाएगा फिर वो इजीली बिल्कुल इजीली अंडरस्टैंड हो जाता
आप लेक्चर से पहले करके आए ना तो आपको
हो गया तो फिर
हो गया
है अस्सलाम वालेकुम
ऐसे बताएं
नहीं कोई मसला नहीं
ज़्यादा लगाने में क्या आता है
इसने आपको जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन भेजी है आप इससे कहें ना कि सेंड मी अ जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन आई नीड टू नो व्हाट इज दिस रोल अबाउट चलें ठीक है सही है उससे कहें कि आप मुझे कल किसी भी वक्त हाँ ठीक है ठीक है वैसे ये क्या है सेलिब्रेशन आर्मी कोई कंपनी है अच्छा 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 फूड अच्छा एनजीओ ठीक है बस ठीक है आप उससे जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन लेके उसके हिसाब से सीवी बना के फिर इसको भेज देंगे इससे कंटिन्यू करें बात बिल्कुल 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 ठीक है बिल्कुल सही है इसका मतलब है कि लेकिन आपने लिंक्डइन पे अभी सिस्टम एडमिन की प्रोफाइल तो नहीं डाली और उसी के ऊपर इसने किया। ओके ओके, आपकी पुरानी प्रोफाइल तो नहीं एग्जिस्ट करती ना? बस ठीक है ठीक है। आजकल मार्केट हॉट है, अभी आपको जल्दी जल्दी आना शुरू हो जाएगी। बस रेडी रहें, इसको सीधा सीधा जिसे कहते हैं ना हेड टू हेड हो जाए इनके साथ। यार वो उसको ठीक ठीक है, मैं देख लूंगा। तो वो क्या कहते हैं उसको, दूसरा वो उसको बैल वाली से तो नहीं हुई थी आपकी बात? अच्छा ठीक है बिल्कुल। अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, हाँ ओके 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 ठीक है, सही है, बिल्कुल सही है। हाँ। हम्म। ठीक है, चल चल ठीक है, बहुत शुक्रिया। अच्छा अच्छा, दूसरा मैंने पूछना था, नहीं वो चले कल बात हो जाएगी, नहीं नेक्स्ट लेक्चर। हाँ नहीं नहीं कुछ नहीं, मुझे वो पूछना था, मुझे वो दूसरा प्लान लेना ना किसी कोई और। हाँ चले, कल तो बंद है लेकिन नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में हो जाएगी बात, कोई मसला नहीं। ओके ओके, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, अल्लाह हाफ़िज़। हम्म, हाँ अली कौन? सैयद अली शाह? हाँ नहीं, उनसे नहीं हुई बात नहीं। आपको मिले हैं कहीं वो? उनको छोटी सी कोई मिली थी, उसके बाद मेरे ख्याल है उसके बाद नहीं मिली कोई। उसके साथ कोई किस्मत का चक्कर है यार, और किस्मत के साथ नहीं, किस्मत के साथ नीयत खराब का भी चक्कर। एक चीज हमेशा याद रखनी है हम सबको, हमें हमेशा अपनी नीयत साफ रखनी है। शॉर्टकट्स हम जरूर करते हैं, हम जरूर स्मार्ट वे तलाश करते हैं, लेकिन दूसरों के ऊपर पाँव रख के नहीं करते। अगर किसी और का काम बन रहा है तो बनने दें उसका, आपका काम भी बनेगा। तो वो जो है ना, कुछ लोगों के साथ वो प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, वो मैंने बहुत समझाया उनको, लेकिन शायद कुछ लोग नहीं समझते इस चीज़।
कल आईटी के वो डिस्कशन हो रही थी, आपको किसने प्रोटीन की फाइल सेंड की? कह रहे थे मलिक साहब।
हाँ हाँ, नहीं उन्होंने, मलिक साहब ने मुझे नहीं, इजाज मलिक किसमें? हाँ इमरान मलिक, बिल्कुल।
एग्जाम दिए, उसमें इनके क्विज के जो आए थे वो उसमें शेयर भी किए वो।
हाँ जी, लेकिन वो अब कैसे पता चले कि वो कौन सी फाइल में ESX 01 है?
इसमें ESX 01 है ना, बस एक ही को बनाना है, एक ही पे बनाना है, अब बाकी सारे होस्ट को इस पे कनेक्ट करना है।
चले आपने ये रिकॉर्ड किया आज?
ये भी रिकॉर्ड किया मैंने, हाँ ये भी मैं डाल दूंगा।
तो सिर्फ 2 को कैसे इसमें डालेंगे?
अभी मैं 2
वो
को मैं
चीज़ें सारी
कॉन्फ़िगर कर दूं मैं। आज तो यार वो है ही नहीं है, आज फ्रूट नहीं है, आज ही मुझे ज्यादा भूख लग रही है। मैं देख रहा हूँ यार, वो आज केले वाली सरकार है नहीं। नहीं तो आज तो उनसे मैंने लेके खा देना। Okay. क्या टाइम हुआ है? 9 बजे।
सर इसका 55 था।
हाँ ये 55 है। मजे की चीज है ना, जिस वक्त आपको पता हो ना कि आप क्या कर रहे हैं, और जब ये इस तरह चीजें जुड़ती चले जाएं तो मजा आता है काम करते हैं। आप जो इसको ना आप एंजॉय किया करें सारी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन।
जो चीज आ जाती है ना उस पे तो वाकई मजा आता है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
स्वाई SCCM के बाकी तो सारे
SCCM को
बहुत
भी,
अच्छा लगा।
SCCM में भी ना आप इंटरेस्ट पैदा करें,
नहीं सर वो ऐसा नहीं है कि इसमें
नहीं
इंटरेस्ट,
होता,
लेकिन
हाँ।
सर जब वो जो वही मैं भाई को भी कह रही थी, वो जो लॉग फाइल पे आ जाते हैं ना, उधर समझ नहीं आती, तो उधर उस कोशिश तो मैं करती हूँ उसको कि नहीं ये मैंने करना है, करूंगी तो समझ में आएगा, लेकिन वो ऊपर से गुजर जाता है वो।
लेकिन
मुझे लगता है हर दफा तुक्के से ही मेरा एरर सही होता है, ये
ऐसे ही
होता है,
होता
मुझे
है,
समझ नहीं आती है,
कोई बात नहीं।
मुझे नेक्स्ट टाइम पता नहीं होता कि मैंने
ये
कहाँ से
समझे,
क्या किया
ये
था।
समझे उसी के पैसे।
वैसे भी काम होना चाहिए तुक्के से हो।
हाँ, जिस तरह
नहीं
मर्जी
वो
हो।
नेक्स्ट टाइम गलती होता है ना, तो समझ नहीं आती कि कहाँ से फिर सारा कुछ दोबारा करना पड़ता है।
हाँ, मैं ये पूछना चाह रहा था कि जो जो दूसरे की बाद में इसके बाद एक्सचेंज कर दिया, आप पूछ लो। मुझे आप लोग का 1 मिनट चाहिए। आप लोग का ये VMware के बाद एक्सचेंज का जो कोर्स है, राइट, इंस्टेड ऑफ ट्यूसडे थर्सडे, अगर हम मंडे वेडनेसडे अगर क्लब करें तो किसको कन्वीनियंट है पूछना चाहते हैं।
ठीक है, कर लें।
किसको प्रॉब्लम है इसमें?
पता नहीं उनको पूछे।
No, no, instead of Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday,
उसकी तो
Thursday.
वर्षा की तो है
हाँ
ही।
जी,
तो
सही
उसको
भाई
पूछ
कुछ
लेंगे।
है।
आपके लिए मुश्किल होगा थोड़ा। अच्छा, खैर आप अभी तो 3 हफ्ते है ना उसमें, आप अभी ट्राई, अभी तो बल्कि आपके 5 हफ्ते के बाद की बात है ये।
अभी जिसके बाद हमने वो करना है ना।
हाँ, जॉब प्रेप करनी है हमने। तो आप वैसे पूछ के देख लीजिएगा, अगर नहीं हुआ तो यही रखेंगे आप, कोई मसला नहीं। अच्छा, दूसरे दिन 7 बजे निकलते हैं आप? 7 बजे का मतलब है, और वहां से ये, हाँ नहीं नहीं वो लेट हो जाएगा। ठीक है, कोई मसला नहीं, वही रखेंगे। ठीक है, आराम से देखिएगा फिर, क्योंकि नहीं आना तो टाइम पे नहीं आएंगे तो समझ नहीं आएगी।
इसके बाद जिनका जॉब प्रोफेशन चल रहा है उनका तो रहना आ जाएगा।
नहीं, उनकी एक्सचेंज है ना बाद में।
क्योंकि अगर आपको जॉब प्रिपरेशन के लिए आना है तो मंडे वेडनेसडे पे भी आ सकते हैं, ताकि आप लोग को रिवाइज कराएंगे, ताकि आपको हेल्प भी मिल जाएगी।
ठीक है, ठीक है,
आते तो है उन दिनों में हम
चलने दें ऐसे ही ठीक है। Guys, the vCenter is installed. So just before the break, let me quickly review. Think of this as as vCenter to manage all ESXi hosts from one location. So basically, before you had a vCenter separately, now they are all in a vCenter. So now you're managing right from the vCenter, and you can manage all ESXi hosts. And vCenter comes in 2 different flavors. It is Appliance version and it is a Windows-based version. And Appliance version is the one that we download from internet.
So this is the Appliance version.
This is the Appliance version. So we downloaded it. This is what we did. We downloaded it from internet and then we deployed it. It became a VM. Then we set up the IP address. Once the IP address is set up, and then it configured itself. Now this part, we must understand, this complete part is automatic configuration. It automatically configures it. It was automatic configured. It was automatic configuration. This is automatic configuration. So this is where you don't have to do anything. This is where it is said it is pre-installed and pre-configured. Now, once this is done, give it some time. Do not cancel it because it might take some time. Press close, and right after that, give it some time, and it will show you which services are started. Now, at the same time, while this is going on, I can go and try to connect to this server right from here, not from here, but from internet, from vSphere client. So here I'm going to try again. So now log in. Let's see. So like this is what we said in the beginning, that vCenter does not have a console of itself. Even vCenter management is done through vSphere client. So we connect. So now it's asking me for that. It means that vCenter is working. So ignore. And now it will open a vCenter. So right after this, we on this server open vSphere client and enter the IP address of vCenter, root and password. And what it does, then it opens a vSphere client. So it opens this console here, and right here, how do you know that if it is logging into a vCenter? instead of IP address, here it will show you the name of the vCenter.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is showing you the name. When you connect to a host, ESXi, it shows you the IP address. But when you connect here, it shows you the name of the vCenter. Now, name of the vCenter. Now, at this point, you should have two consoles open. One console directly to ESXi host and second console to vCenter. So there are two vSphere client open. So if there are two vSphere client open, guys, so this is the second. So this is a vSphere client. So this is a vSphere client where you're connected to the host. So here it shows you you're connected to the IP address. So this is here you connect to the IP address, and this one is the one where you're connected to vCenter. Guys, in both of them, open side by side both of them, and then see the differences. vCenter, now if you go onto vCenter and go to home, so if you click on home, it gives you more icons than just a normal. Now let's see the differences here. So now so the very first thing, I'm logged into a vCenter. So this vCenter is directly connected to vCenter, and if I put it on the side and connect to my host one, this is my host one, this is my host one here. So this is the host one, and this one is vCenter. So this is host one. This is I'm connected to one host. This is I'm connected to complete vCenter. Now, if you go to home on vCenter, it shows you now more icons, whereas directly on host it shows you less icons. So this is one major difference. So since vCenter is a bigger product, so vCenter gives you the home has more icons, and whereas the host has only few icons here. Everybody's on this screen. Do you have this set up like this? Everybody has screen set up like this? So the very first difference is this, that on host you see less number of icons, and on vCenter you see more number of icons. Now right after, once you see the differences here, all you need to do is this. So here on this, open vCenter and you connect, and number 18 is vSphere client. vSphere client opens and connect to vCenter. And you need to verify functioning of vCenter. Just verify the functioning of vCenter. Here I would say verify vCenter by clicking home screen. You should now see more icons there. So this is the one major difference to see, that if you're connecting to a vCenter or just a host. Because on host, you see just 3 icons. But on a vCenter, you see everything. So you see a lot of icons. And vCenter has its own database. vCenter has its SSO service, and now vCenter is working. Now, the next step, which is step number 19, we need to now add all ESXi hosts inside the vCenter. So now step number 19, add ESXi, add canux ESX01 to vCenter. And how do you do that? Just go to open, first of all, open host and cluster. And guys, if you remember from yesterday's lecture or the last lecture, here it is the same icon is called inventory. And on this side here, it is called host and cluster. Most of our time as a VMware admin will be spent in this hosts and cluster. So I'm going to leave a ESXi host as is. So I'm going to just minimize it and now expand vCenter. This is my vCenter. So in vCenter, our first stop is here, hosts and cluster. So just go into hosts and cluster. So now this is my host and cluster. So in vCenter, I need to add this. In order to add a host inside vCenter, In order to add a host inside vCenter, first of all, we need to create a component called data center, and then we need to add a host. So first of all, under this, we need to create, so here I'm going to say point A is create data center, and how do we create data center? So right here, right click on vCenter, just right click on vCenter, and here it says the word data center. So we need to create a data center. Guys, this data center is just to resemble real data centers. Like, remember we said that all companies have their separate data centers. And what is a data center? Data center is just one place where you have servers, cooling system, and this and that and everything. So since under data center will be bringing in many hosts here, so that is why this first step is called data center. If you don't have a data center, you cannot add any host to vCenter. So the very first step is create data center. And how do you create it? It is just right click and say new data center.
This data center is for host and vCenter.
Host, yes, just adding host. So here, let's say this. So new data center, and once you say new data center, it will create a new building type structure, and we'll name it Canaps Data Center 01. This is Canaps Data Center 01. I mean, data center can be of different name as well. For example, this data center will only have hosts from Toronto, where we can call it Canaps Toronto or Toronto Data Center 1. And Toronto can have many different data centers. So here just we're going to name it Canaps Data Center 1. Once this is done, and you will see here in the recent task that it has data center has been successfully created. Now we are ready to add a host. So I'm ready to add a host. Guys, as you can see directly under vCenter, I don't have any option to add a host. So host can only be created in data center. So first you have a data center, and then we create a new host. So as soon as you add a host, it is exactly like the way we connect through a vSphere client. So now you enter the IP address. So enter IP address 192.168.100.50, and so my first host. No. Okay, 101.50.
Adding all the ESX hosts.
Yes, adding host. So adding host means ESX host. So our first host means it is 50. So what is the username should I use? Root, not administrator, because that's the administrator on this, and the password is password 1.
In my case, it's 55%.
Okay, yes, in your case it's 55. So your one has the problem. Now B part is add host. So here we named it Canaps Data Center 1. And here we add host, right click on DC. And just say add host. And when you add host, use the username, use IP address 192.168.101.50 and root, and then next. Guys, just say next.
It's unable to verify that. It's a security alert.
Okay, it's a warning, I think. Is it yellow triangle?
No, it's not.
Okay, yes, this is just info. Guys, always keep an eye on the icon with the message. This is just information. So it's just the same thing. Remember, we do ignore when you directly connect to it. That's the same message. So here, just say yes. Just say yes, because if you say no, it won't connect. So here you need to say yes, and then it moves to the next. And now it is showing you, okay, I can see 2 VMs on this host, which is the right information, because you're bringing in that host into vCenter. And this VM, now I'm going to add this next. And next, now if you have a license for this, I can add a license. Otherwise, I can go evaluation. So it will just go with evaluation. Let's take a picture. Extra pen? From vCenter. वो ब्लू स्क्रीन के ऊपर जाके होस्ट नेम एंड एवरीथिंग, नहीं उसके अलावा वहां से भी कर सकते हैं, वो जो आई में भी जाके कर सकते हैं, लेकिन क्या जरूरत है चेंज करने की? इसका क्या नाम है? लोकल होस्ट यहाँ से भी कर सकते हैं, इसमें वही, लेकिन वो पूरी कमांड लिखनी पड़ेगी। पहले लॉगिन करें, फिर वो वाली कमांड लिखें, वो ऊपर वाली, फिर उसमें एक होस्ट नेम की ऑप्शन है, वहां जाए, नाम चेंज करें। लेकिन वी डोंट नो कि इसका इफेक्ट क्या होगा डेटाबेस पे, तो मेरा ख्याल है इसको रहने देना। लेकिन आप ऐसे, मेरा ख्याल है उसमें भी ऑप्शन होने चाहिए। अगर आप वेब से उसको कनेक्ट करते हैं ना, मुझे वेब वाली आई थी, वेब वाली स्क्रीन थी ना, जो डायरेक्ट HTTPS IP एड्रेस डाल के आप गए थे, उसके अंदर भी होगा, लेकिन वो डेटाबेस पे गलत इफेक्ट होगा। होगा यहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं होगा, देखें जरा। तो ऐसे जैसे इतना लंबा, अच्छा ऐसे जैसे कोई ट्रक आ रहा है। ओके, okay. So guys, what we need to do after this, so right after step 8, all we need to do is right click on this, and then it starts the wizard. All you need to do is what was before this? Yes, it shows you that it connects. So here, see, click yes. अच्छा जी, आ गया मसो मैसेज, देखो यार। ओके, सो हैं लिख ये लिखते हैं
नेक्स्ट क्लास में आए इंशाल्लाह।
उसे कह दें कि next time bring bananas and Fantas and since you missed cherries or D. Next.
all default.
Hmm? It's all default. But here I want to explain one little thing. So here it is select evaluation license, select eval default. And this one, guys. So this one I need to explain. And this is called configure lockdown mode. Configure lockdown mode. What is configure lockdown mode?
User mode is
What? Configure lockdown mode. Guys, now understand this. Lockdown mode is this. Let's say I have a host. Let's say this is my host. And Qasim has a vSphere client. So Qasim can anytime connect from vSphere client directly to the host. He can directly manage the host. Okay, let's understand lockdown mode. Everyone, lockdown mode. Lockdown mode is, so before vCenter, Saqib, before vCenter Khubab, before vCenter we used to manage ESXi host separately. So this lockdown mode is saying if I enable this, you should not be able to directly connect to ESXi host. Since now it will be part of a vCenter, it shouldn't be managed it shouldn't be managed individually. Now there is a reason for this. For example, you have a ESXi host right here. This is ESXi host. And before you used to manage it from vSphere client. So you open a vSphere client and you start managing it. And what is managing? I can create VMs inside. I can create new VMs. So basically you created a VM. It shows you VM properties and everything. Guys, now since you have a vCenter, so now you're about to add this to a vCenter. So this option is just saying that should I enable a lockdown mode or not? So at this point, it is just saying, should I place a lock here? Should I place a lock here or not? Now, if you don't do this and go next, then what happens is that anybody can connect from here directly to ESXi host as well. But as soon as somebody connects from here to here and makes the changes, guys, those changes won't appear in vCenter. So the reason why we need to place a lock here, so if this host is being managed by vCenter, all the management of the ESXi host must be done from vCenter. Nobody should be allowed to directly connect to it and then make changes. The reason is because vCenter has its database that stores everything, saying that, okay, this ESXi host has 40 GB of disk. It has, let's say, 16 GB of RAM. It has 10 VMs inside, and each VM has this property. So basically, in vCenter's database, everything is stored. But if somebody now directly connects to it, and then makes changes, deletes some VM. Let's say now it was 10 here, but he deleted 2 VMs. Now the VMs are now 8, but vCenter has wrong configuration. This won't be automatically updated. For that reason, in all environments, we lock it. So we're going to say lockdown mode is enabled and press next.
Even if you log out and still we disconnect from vCenter, still work.
No, it will then fix it. But you have to disconnect and reconnect. So here, guys, one more time. Lockdown mode, which is this mode, lockdown mode. Lockdown mode is used to secure a vCenter with to secure a ESXi host with a particular vCenter, so that it can only be managed through vCenter and you should not manage it directly. Now your question is, are there any circumstances where we must connect directly? Yes, guys, sometimes there are. Sometimes there is a problem on ESXi host that cannot be fixed through vCenter. Sometimes you cannot log into vCenter. So in those rare cases, you must log in manually, individually, and fix it and then reconnect it. Now, if in any case, if this is, let's say, somebody connected directly and now it is disconnected. So now there is no connection between this host and that. Your question is, how difficult is it to reconnect to vCenter? Very simple. All you need to do, run this wizard again. You will go add host, run wizard again, next, done. So it will again update its database here.
So remove the host and add it over again.
Yes, just remove and add again. That's it.
So,
But it's not recommended that when a ESXi host is managed by vCenter, do not directly connect to the ESXi host because it can disturb the ESXi configuration and that won't be updated to VC. Now, it not only disturbs the ESXi configuration, but it can disturb clusters, it can disturb DRS, it can disturb vMotion, it can disturb many things in vCenter.
Even if you press this lockdown, still you can connect that. Even if you enable this lockdown, still.
No. If you enable this lockdown mode and somebody tries to connect, then it would say you don't have permission. You cannot connect directly. So in order to connect directly, you must disable this feature, then you can connect directly.
So to disable, you have to rerun the wizard and
No. To disable,
Yeah.
so let's say now it is enabled,
Yeah.
and you need to connect to ESXi. To disable, you have to go in vCenter. You can go to the properties and you can disable it, or you can directly go onto ESXi host and disable it from there. So in order to enable the lockdown mode, it is done from here. But how do you disable it? Guys, disable of a lockdown mode can be done in two places. It can be done from, so lockdown mode, it can be done directly from ESXi host from this screen. So you can go to directly here, and within this you can go to F2 and you will log in. And then once this comes, in this there is an option to unlock it. So here you can go here, configure lockdown mode, which is for now it is disabled. This option you see, it is disabled here, this one, second option. But as soon as I enable it, then this will be enabled and you can come here and unlock it. So basically, if ever you need to unlock this, now we must understand, once you lock it, it cannot be connected directly. It will only be managed from vCenter. But in some rare cases where you have to troubleshoot and fix it, then you need to remove the lock. In order to remove the lock, it can be done directly from ESXi host, or it can be done from vCenter as well. But most of the time when you need to unlock it, basically vCenter, there is a problem with this and this. So this is why you are going from directly, because you cannot access it from vCenter. So most of the time you have to come here and unlock it. Okay, so unlock can be done from ESXi host directly.
Then you have to go to each ESXi host.
Yes, if you need to do it. Now, always remember that if you have 400 ESXi hosts, it's not likely that you have a problem in all of them. It might be one or two, and it's rare. It's very rare. Most of the time we fix the ESXi host directly from vCenter. But it's that rare situation where this has completely lost all its connection, exactly in the case of Saqib today. So Saqib's machine was restarting automatically. And as soon as the machine is shut down, it lost the connection from VC. So in that case, the only way Saqib can fix it is start the machine, go to F2, go to this location, unlock, and directly connect from vSphere client. Okay. So one more time. Yes.
This lockdown mode can be disabled by physically going to a server? Or?
Yes, if physically going to a server or through the KVM. Remember we discussed KVM? Yeah. So you can connect through KVM and do it, or somebody has to physically go there. Okay, so here I'm gonna say lockdown mode. So once this is done, you go next, and rest is fine. You just enable. Now in few moments, keep an eye on this. It is saying in progress. Yes, I did enable lockdown mode. So right here, configure lockdown mode, enable. And after that, next, and done. And in few moments, guys, to start with, this will be disabled to start with, and in few moments it will come back. Now this is the first host that you have added, and now it is part of your vCenter. Now we said in the vCenter we can manage multiple ESXi hosts. Now in the same manner, we're gonna connect our other ESXi host to data center as well. So now right after that, we are going to 20, step number 20. here is step number 20, add CANAPS ESXi2 to vCenter. ESXi2 to vCenter. So all you need to do is this. Right click on data center one more time, and then go to add host. And then once you're adding, write the IP address of the other vCenter. 192.168. Sorry? It has to be on for sure. Yes. So in my case, it was 55. And just before doing this, just make sure it is on. So before I go there, let me see if it is on. Otherwise, you will get an error message. So in my case, it is on and it has the right IP address. So all I'll do is next, and it gives me that warning. So yes, and next, same thing, enable lockdown mode. Actually, in this case, do not enable lockdown mode. Just leave it open. Second one, do not enable lockdown mode because we're going to test both of them. So second one, I'm not enabling lockdown mode, and next and done. So in few moments, your second one will be here. So in this manner, now we have proved that the definition that you can add all ESXi hosts. And if you have the third one, add a third one as well. मन को किया ना ये कह रहा है कि इसमें ना स्टोरेज कम है इसकी स्टोरेज फुल हो गई
सर थर्ड में करना है हमने बोले इसको या नहीं
नहीं छोड़ दें बाद में हाँ इसमें तो स्टोरेज नहीं है भाई हमें लगता है इस के बारे में वो है अदरवाइज ये स्टार्ट ही ना हो क्योंकि वो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम कहीं से तो चल रहा है दे दिया ना कह रहा है कि ये तो पहले से है आप फिलहाल 2 पे काम करें दूसरों पे। हाँ ये सिर्फ वार्निंग दे रहा है, कोई वार्निंग ऐसे होगा वो ऐसे पता करता है। समरी पे जाए, समरी पे वार्निंग दिखाएगा, समरी तो बिल्कुल यहाँ ऊपर नहीं, अभी इसको आपने सेलेक्ट किया ना? ठीक है, हाँ ये आ गई, इस पर राइट इस पे क्लिक करें, ये आपकी वार्निंग और ये कह रहा है मेमोरी का कोई इशू है।
ये जो VM बनाया हुआ है इसके आगे ये नंबर शो कर रहा है कि लाइन टू पोस्ट नंबर है।
नहीं ये सिर्फ ये कह रहा है कि इस नाम से
इससे क्या नाम से
ये इसलिए कह रहा है क्योंकि इस नाम से ना शायद और भी कोई एग्जिस्ट करता है। ये हाँ यार ये है ना बिल्कुल एक जैसे यहाँ पढ़े तो उसने खुद ही लगा दिया क्या ताकि थोड़ा सा डिफरेंशिएट करने। ठीक है
सर इसका लीड कैसे
किसको लेकिन अगर आपका vCenter इस पे या टू पे पावर ऑफ होगा ये आती रहेगी ये अभी आपने 2 दी हुई है ना, ये 2 है ना, हाँ 4 है हाँ, लेकिन फिर भी इतनी यूज उसकी वजह vCenter चल रहा है। ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, वो जैसे ही 50 या 60 से ऊपर जाता है ना वो देगा क्योंकि vCenter चल रहा है। So guys, right here, so first of all let's have a first look question. Okay, let's have a first look on this. First look is like this guys. So let's look at the vCenter. Now guys, here this is a vCenter. It is actually the same vSphere client. So the first concept that I want to make clear that before we had VS, and from VS we can connect to each ESXi host at a time, right? And now we have vCenter, but vCenter itself cannot directly connect to ESXi host. So what we do is we still connect to from vSphere to here, and from vCenter then we manage this. So always remember, first of all, in order to manage vCenter, you must have vSphere client. Either vSphere client or a web client. You can also use a web vSphere as well. And again, you connect here and then connect to ESXi host. So that's the very first concept we need to remember.
Is there any difference connecting to web or?
No difference. Actually, web is more preferred. But for web, we don't have web at the moment. Once we install the Windows-based vCenter, then we'll get the web version. So
first we used to connect vSphere to ESXi host.
Yes.
Now we are connecting to vSphere to VC.
VC and then managing it. Exactly. So in all real environment, you do exactly the same thing. For example, they're saying we have 400 hosts and manage them. So don't directly go into vCenter. You need to open vSphere client and then connect to ESXi host. So this is one thing.
So if you have like 1000 ESXi hosts, or you can connect on a manual, you have entered.
So no, it's fine. Okay. So here, guys, just look at this. Just look at this. So question here is, let's say we have 400 ESXi hosts in this environment. Now 400 ESXi hosts, you just have to add them one time. You don't have to add them all the time. You just add them once they are added to vCenter. Then you'll every time you just need to log in once on vCenter. You can manage all of them. Now, if I select this host, I can see all the properties of this host. I can see that control panel of that host, which is known as configuration of host number 1. Same thing I can do for the host number 2, and I can go to configuration, I can go to summary. So since last time we were doing it individually, now we can do it from all of them together. So this is one thing. And second thing here is, second thing, let's go on to a home page. Within home page, now we have all these options. So first of all, we can search in vCenter. Now, before even going there, now since we do have vCenter, and now I'm going to actually summarize this quickly. So vSphere client is a special client that is used to manage ESXi host one by one, right? And vSphere is the one that is used to manage multiple ESXi hosts, remember? Multiple ESXi hosts. Yes, it's a vCenter used to manage multiple ESXi hosts, right? No? vSphere client? I said vSphere client? Okay, vCenter. vCenter is used to manage multiple ESXi hosts. And secondly, vCenter is made up of a database and single sign-on service. It has a database of its own, and it has a single sign-on service. The database that it has, it is of type embedded database. So here I'm going to say that vCenter has a database, has a DB, and this DB is of type embedded. And this is embedded type of database, because Windows-based vCenter has a SQL database. This has embedded database. And secondly, vCenter also has something called SSO, and SSO is single sign-on. Single sign-on service that automatically is configured and is working in the background. Now, with this, here, I can search in that vCenter. Now, before even going there, let's jump back to our slide and just look at some information here. So let's look at this screen first. Now, a vCenter, let's look at this screen first here. Don't connect directly to ESXi host from vSphere client. vSphere client, yes. So there is no way you can directly manage vSphere vCenter. You must come from here to here, then manage ESXi host. Remember, we do know this. Did I? Just now? Okay. So do we understand, is this concept clear now? So in order to manage each ESXi host separately, you can connect from vSphere client to here. Is that the correct statement?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And if connect from vCenter, you must connect from here to here, then here to here. Is that understandable? Yes, this is understandable. Okay. Now let's look at some facts here. Now, fact number 1 is vCenter requirement. Now, vCenter comes with a service called PSC, which is Platform Services Controller. This is exactly like what SSO is. SSO is also known as PSC. In version 6, vSphere 6, this SSO service is replaced by PSC. So just remember this. Here, it was known as SSO, but now in version 6, VS6, it is known as PSC. Same, it works as single sign-on.
What does it mean for
PSC means Platform Services Controller. So it works as a single sign-on. Now, what is a single sign-on? Guys, single sign-on is a service in which a person who needs to manage ESXi host just log in one time. So I would log into from vSphere to vCenter just one time, and then can manage complete ESXi environment. Maybe there are 1,000 hosts. You don't need to re-log in again and again. This is what single sign-on is. Same in Citrix, it has a single sign-on as well. And Active Directory automatically does a single sign-on. Now here it is now in version 6, same SSO is known as PSC. So it is replaced by PSC. Now here, let's say, so the main information that I want you to understand starts from here. First of all, vCenter needs to have one server, right? So this is saying that if your company is looking to have manage 10 hosts and 100 VMs, if your company is looking to manage 10 hosts and 100 VMs from one vCenter, your vCenter must have 2 processors and 8 GB of RAM. If your company is looking to manage 100 hosts from vCenter and 1000 VMs, then your server, your vCenter memory should be, it has 4 CPUs and it must use 16 GB of RAM, just one server. If your company is looking to manage 400 hosts and 4000 VMs, is this understandable? Because each host has VM. So this host has only 2 VMs, and now you're managing it through ESXi host. Sorry, vCenter.
So this is just to manage that. I mean, like, imagine what the ESXi host would need.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So these are just facts saying that the more hosts you need to manage, the more memory you need on a vCenter. Okay. So here, the last one here is, which is saying if your company is looking to manage 1000 ESXi hosts from vCenter. Now, what is this, guys? Everybody is understandable. I mean, there is some confusion. Okay, let's understand this. This is a vCenter. Okay, and to start with, it's empty. Is it empty? So I just installed a vCenter. Now this is what it's saying, that how many hosts do you want to manage from this this vCenter? So I need to manage 2 hosts. So I add 1 host, which we added just now, and then you add a second host. So it's saying you need at least 2 GB of memory for this vCenter and 8 GB of RAM. So minimum this vCenter with 2 CPUs and 8 GB of RAM, it can manage 10 ESXi hosts. So 10 ESXi hosts. So 10 ESXi. But if your company is looking to manage 100 hosts from the same vCenter, you need more CPU and more RAM. That's what it is. Meaning, because since you will use more CPUs on a VM, that server will be more expensive. So this server will be the most expensive server that has 16 CPUs and it has 32 GB of RAM. Yes.
I'm sorry. vCenter is just a platform, right? It itself is a server.
It is a server. So you see right here, it became a server, and inside the server it has a platform. So you see this. If I go back here in host and cluster, basically your vCenter is sitting right here as a complete VM. So itself is a server. Inside it is. So that slide is saying that if I go into the properties of this VM and go into settings, and here I can see that how many CPUs this. So for now this has two CPUs and 8 GB of RAM. Automatically it configures for itself. Meaning it is using the bare minimum that is used by vCenter. Okay. So here, let's go move forward on this.
That's why the host, when I check the host RAM is really almost 14.
Yes, why? Yes, this is the reason, because this vCenter is a resource intensive. It is using a lot of memory here.
This term PSC,
Yes.
is it exclusive to VMware or?
Just VMware. Yes. It is only exclusive to VMware plus V6. It is not used in 5.5. It is
similar to SSO.
It is similar to SSO. What SSO does, newer name is PSC. The main function is exactly like SSO. Now here, now we're talking about advantages and disadvantages of Appliance as compared to Windows based. Guys, yesterday I said in the last lecture that Windows based is more powerful than Appliance, right? Windows based. So right here, so this is just Appliance. Advantages are it provides support for all traditional vCenter features, DRS, SDRS, HA, and does not require Windows license. So these are advantages. Does not require Windows license, no need to install Windows, no vCenter installation required, and comes with a quick and simple deployment. These are advantages. What are disadvantages of an Appliance? Disadvantages, it cannot use SQL. So SQL as an external database, it cannot use. Secondly, does not support vCenter in link mode. If you have 2 or 3 vCenter. So this is one vCenter, and let's say I have another vCenter. I cannot link them together to manage all my environment. Let's say I have one vCenter in Toronto, another vCenter in Montreal. If you need to link them together, Appliance vCenter cannot be linked with a Windows-based vCenter. So they will both work separately, completely separate. Next big disadvantage is that vCenter Heartbeat does not work. No single sign-on using a Windows session credential. So if you have Active Directory users accessing a vCenter, they cannot, SSO will not work for Active Directory since it has its own SSO. And next one, vSphere storage is not compatible. So this is we're going to discuss later. VSA or vSAN is not supported with this. In other words, guys, Appliance is a version that is used for remote areas or smaller places. But at the end of this training, I'm going to use 1 day to compare all features between 5.5 and 6. And you already have an assignment to download the vSphere hypervisor, V6 hypervisor, and vCenter hypervisor. Okay, so go home and download those both of them. vSphere hypervisor, vSphere 6 hypervisor, and vCenter.
So if you have a small company and you're using VM, their products, isn't it just advisable to use the appliance instead of using the vCenter? Because like 3 or 4, I mean, it offers more features than the vCenter.
Windows-based vCenter?
Windows-based.
It doesn't.
It doesn't?
It doesn't. So in order to have a vCenter appliance, you must have one Windows-based vCenter. So you need to have one license of Windows-based vCenter, then you can use 10 vCenter appliances for free.
So you have to have Windows-based.
Yes, you must have a Windows.
5,000?
Exactly. So that is why it's not using vCenter is expensive for company. Now this is as far as 5.5. I'm gonna recheck this for 6 and then I'll let you know. But I think it's the same thing. vCenter is not cheap. It's not free.
So appliance is installed on one of the
Yes.
So if that host is down, then we can't use it.
Yes, that's another problem with the appliance. If that host is down, then vCenter is gone as well. If host is down, vCenter is gone as well. So yes, you're right. It is.
So for the appliance, we cannot do the vSphere web client access?
With the vSphere web client access, we can do vSphere web client access, but we need to have a web client first. So here, guys, this is how vCenter looks like. So before vCenter, actually before vCenter, guys, we had 3 hosts directly managing from vSphere client. But now since we have a vCenter, it works in the middle, so you connect from here to here, and then you can manage hosts. And all their configurations are stored in vCenter database. This is what we already know, right? And same thing, all other stuff, third-party applications, the backup tools and replication tools, everything will be connecting to vCenter through vSphere client. So they all connect. So vCenter actually sits in the middle. vCenter is a very, very important component. vCenter is a very, very important component that needs to be understood properly, and now we have installed vCenter. vCenter architecture, and then here, so here we just discussed that it can, vCenter alone can manage 1,000 hosts per vCenter, and it can have 10,000 powered on VMs and 15,000 registered VMs. Meaning that if this is a vCenter, it can have maximum of 1,000 hosts, and on each host you can have 100 VMs. Because total of 10,000 powered on VMs, one vCenter can support.
So one vCenter is basically
Yes, there is one. These are just facts and figures. But you can have multiple vCenter based on geographically dispersed network. So I'll have one vCenter for Toronto and a separate vCenter for Montreal, no matter how many. So here I'm managing 15 hosts and there I'm managing 10 hosts.
Those
vCenter will be separate.
can be connected?
They can be connected as long as they are Windows-based vCenter. Okay.
What's the advantage of that?
Huh?
What's
Advantage of connecting vCenters that some configuration of their database will be synced together. So whatever you're doing here, some, not all configuration, but some configuration will be synced together.
Is it really advisable to have multiple companies sharing the same?
No. We're not talking about multiple companies. We're talking about one company having different branches. Okay.
So in real life, we environment we use Windows based.
Which one?
Windows vCenter.
In real environment, sometimes we use Appliance, but mostly yes, mostly Windows based. Okay. So guys, now let's look into this vCenter. So everybody logged into a vCenter? So let's do this. Let's log off from vCenter. So let's, guys, I want you to disconnect from vCenter. So there is no log off option in vSphere client. So all I want you to do is just close this. Just close the screen. Close the screen here. Just close vSphere client. So you closed it. Okay, close and close. Now first of all, I want you to close all of the vSphere client. I want you to connect to ESXi2 directly without vCenter. So open vSphere client and then here type the IP address of 55, the second host, not the first host. And then you need to type root, and then here you need to type password 1. Now, did we enable lockdown mode on this? No. So it can connect. Now, while this is connecting, open another vSphere client and try to connect to first one. I want you to see that error message. So first one was 50.
Yes.
And it was root.
I have an error message here too, because when I was reaching that, it was enabled.
Oh, the number two? Number 2. Okay, what is the error message?
It's saying the vSphere client could not connect to this IP address. You do not have permission.
Permission. Guys, this is the error message I want you to see and remember.
Yeah.
This permission message is not that the root account is not working. So sometimes we might think, oh, root account or password is not okay. No, root account and password is fine. It's just that the server is in lockdown mode. In order to unlock this, I want you to go directly on ESXi host and unlock it, and then connect again. So go directly to ESX. So here, this is the message that I'm getting, permission login. In order to fix this, I want you to go to ESXi host and go to F2. And right here, disable lockdown mode. So go here, unconfigure lockdown mode. And in this, as you can see right in front of this, it says enabled. I want you to disable it. So here, okay, excellent. So now we know that how to lock and unlock. Now we'll go into vCenter and lock it. So find a configuration inside vCenter. So inside vCenter, connect to vCenter, go to the same host configuration and lock it. Not lock it from here, but lock it from vCenter. So once it is done, all you need to do is, I'll come back here in vCenter and now try to connect again, and let's see if it lets me connect. So it will let you connect.
That has to be done through maintenance mode, sir? To lock it back in the
Fine. In configuration, it is something in configuration. Guys, remember, do not lock it from inside here. Not lock it directly connecting to it. Connect from vCenter and then lock it. So if you're directly connecting to it, do not lock it. So all you need to do, I'm going to disconnect all this. And now I'm going to connect through vCenter. So how do I log into vCenter, Azhar? How do I log into vCenter?
Through the click the icon, right?
So here and here should I write root?
Was you write 130?
First I write need,
change the IP.
yes, change the IP and
then
root and then the password. So now I'm logging into vCenter. Okay. So once you're logging into vCenter, it will take few minutes and then it will let you log in. It will show you your data center and it will show you your host. Select the first host and try to find a configuration in configuration. Now, guys, this is why I said we always use our all learning senses. You do, oh, we don't have Google. Otherwise, it would have been just 5 minutes. Just say vSphere 5.5, enable lockdown from vCenter. You will directly change it to images. But here, I want you to find out how to lock out this. You found it?
Which one?
Lock out ESXi.
vCenter?
ये तो मेरा
Try to satisfy See, there is an error here. It's showing error. So, yes. Can you bring it up? This window. Just take your mouse here. No, no. First of all, find that right place. Yeah, drag up and down. Just move that mouse up a little bit up. Yeah, it was here. Yeah, now there. Okay, now let's see. It's saying a German system failure occurred, invalid fault. Now sometimes this is just because it is just about to sync. So it's not, I mean, it is disabled, but it's not syncing. In order to either you wait for this or you can disconnect and reconnect. So right click on that host, disconnect, and then reconnect. Yes, that's fine. And then right click reconnect. So it is trying to progress. So in few seconds, it's just a matter of thinking. Huh? नहीं यार हाँ? बस होगी आपकी बस नहीं करनी सुबह कितने बजे ऑफिस आते हैं यहीं पे डाउनटाउन लेकिन उतना तो बच्चा कर ठीक है बस अभी कर रहे छुट्टी थोड़ी देर में it's fine. As long as but hold on. This is not where you let me see this. So first of all, I'm gonna say VMware connect. Let's see. So we just disabled lockdown mode. And now we are able to connect directly. What is recommended? Should we connect directly or should we not? No. Only in emergency. Only in emergency we need to connect manually.
Or as per the organization policy.
It's not even a matter of policy. It's a technical matter. So it's not. Yeah, policy is that you shouldn't connect directly. Guys, why we shouldn't connect directly? Anyone? Why we shouldn't connect directly to ESXi host? It will disturb what? It will disturb vCenter configuration. So here, once it is right here, now let's see. So here I'm going to go into host. I'm going to go into configuration. And within configuration, I think this is in, it is in security profile.
Yeah, but
So it's right here. So first of all, in security profile, what do you have? Here you have all the services that are running. And under this, it shows, sorry?
All the ports that you need to open.
Exactly, all the ports that needs to be open. And right here it's saying lockdown mode. It's saying when enable lockdown mode. So here, let's try editing it. So it's editing. Huh? Cancel. This one. Okay, sorry. So here enable. So here it says enable lockdown mode. It means that it didn't refresh. It didn't refresh. And what about on the host? Is it enabled or disabled? Huh? It is still disabled. Hold on. No, there is something. Hold on. There is something. So, power management, security profile. It is enabled. Or enabled, but we yes. So it's fine, guys. It's fine. It will be enabled next time when vCenter will seek information. But this is exactly the reason why we shouldn't connect directly to the host and make changes, because those changes will not automatically reflect in vCenter. That is exactly the reason why it shouldn't be done from ESXi host. But we do it from ESXi host for the purpose of emergency. It was an emergency, but now I would say that at this time we'll just leave it as is, and after maybe some time, I think the interval is
Sir, it
90
is
minutes.
enabled.
90
Sir,
minutes.
it is enabled.
No,
You
no,
can
it
check.
is enabled, but it is disabled over there.
No, sir.
Huh. Oh, it is enabled as
Yeah.
well, automatically,
Or just I enable over there and then I
and it
open
is
it,
enabled
it
here.
is enabled.
So it's just a matter of some time sync, guys. It is just a matter of some time sync. Otherwise, it will do for sure. It will definitely
As I
make
did
changes
this
over there,
screen refresh
and then it will
automatically,
do
and
it.
then
It will do it. Guys, let's look at this last 5 minutes. Let's look at this vCenter and look at some configuration. In the next lecture, we're going to do, inshallah, vCenter Windows based. I would highly recommend spend some time this weekend and finish video, I think 4 and 5. 4 and 5 is about Windows based vCenter, and 6 video is about Appliance. So do video 4 and 5, and the challenge lab is, if you're able to download vSphere 6 and vCenter 6, just parallel to this environment, install 2 vSphere 6 hosts and install vCenter 6
we will install it.
as a challenge lab. As a, not necessarily you need to complete it. Huh? So just create, I mean, with the exactly the way we created this R environment, this all environment is 5.5. So if you are able to download vSphere, all you need to download 2 things from that website. You need to download VMvisor, V6, and it is called 6U1, 1A, I think. It is called V6U1 up. This is known as Update 1A. So they call it vSphere 6. vSphere 6U1A. So this is this. You need to download this. You also need to download vCenter. vCenter. UA. UA1. So U6U. It is 6. And also you need to download vCenter Appliance.
So those ESX host.
So in this, all you need to do, once you have this, create 2 ESXi hosts, which is ESXi 6 and ESXi 6, and then install one Windows server and install this vCenter. But this is a challenge lab, guys. After you finish video 4 and 5, then do this. Huh? No need for the domain at the moment. Later on, we're gonna install a domain. Okay. And
The third one is vCenter app.
Appliance.
Nice.
now it's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky on VMware website. Let me show you if my internet works.
But we need other 2 things to vSphere.
Okay, it's
Hypervisor and
working.
vCenter Hypervisor, right?
Huh?
vCenter Hypervisor and vSphere Hypervisor.
You need a vCenter hypervisor, vSphere hypervisor. Yes. vCenter, it is called VMvisor. Yeah. So the best way to get to those links is just Google for download vSphere ESXi 6 and download vCenter vSphere 6. It will directly take you to the VMware link and where you need to download.
For that you have to register.
Or it will ask you to register. Once it is registered, log in with that. And guys, now listen to this, please. Once you log in, since I'm getting the dinosaur, once you log in, right under your name, so there will be a name here, right under the name, there is something called, it says, you're not registered for evaluation versions. So click that link and then you'll be registered for specially evaluation versions. Okay, then then you're able to download. In the meantime, yes, well, we are busing now, and in the meantime, we need to update our sheet. Ta-da! And we have first one, Shazia Ahmed. Excellent, Shazia. Good work, good job, and you did 412. Excellent. So we did 412. Yeah. Yes, 412. and you still need to do 413 and 414, which means your MCSA, guys, one more time. MCSA, good effort, Tavia. Excellent. So you've already finished VCP, CCA, and SCCM. The only two to go for 413, 414. Excellent. Good effort. And then the second one is Qasim, guys. Give him a hand. Excellent. Qasim. And Qasim finished 413, guys. Qasim finished 413, which is right here. So 410 is left. Oh, sorry, 412 is left. 414 is left. And then VCP is left. Okay, excellent. Anybody else completed any exam that is not updated here? Okay. So guys, carry on with your efforts, less effort, and inshallah it will be all good. Is this your copy or my copy? Is this your copy?
ठीक है मैं कर दूँगी.
Is this your copy, my copy?
No, it's not.
मेरा WhatsApp है.
यानी उसी में
वो उसी में कर दूँगी.
हाँ, उसी में try
उसी में कर दूँगी. ठीक है मैं इंशाल्लाह कर देती हूँ.
Okay guys, excellent, very good. Remember,
इसके 413 के वो उसी में थे उनके डेवलपमेंट क्या है.
हाँ जी, इसी में से हैं, लेकिन वो क्वेश्चंस को बहुत उसके नाम चेंज कर देते हैं और थोड़ा मार्केट
तो चलो मतलब अब शुरू कर देती हूँ. कभी तक तैयारी होती है.
उसके कुछ
आई
एक्स्ट्रा
तक
क्वेश्चन
तैयारी
है वो
होती
मैं
है.
आपको दे दूंगा.
चले बहुत शुक्रिया.